To help open your third eye, you must learn this: polarity, the fact that there is present or a manifestation of two opposites or contrasting principles or tendencies in the body, the positive/masculine and the negative/feminine. As you know, like charges repel and unlike charges attract. The magnetic field of a human is part of Earth's magnetic field of which it is a part, and in which it moves independently. These fields are composed of positive and negative vibratory energies, or forces. These two forces are respectively called centripetal and centrifugal. A centripetal force comes towards the Earth from the universe, and a centrifugal force comes out from the center of the Earth. In ancient times, centripetal and centrifugal were called the forces of heaven and earth. They directly affect the construction of the male and female bodies. A man's sexual organs appear externally and downward and are related with the centripetal force, which relates to heaven. The force comes through the top of man's head, crown seat. This is related to the 12 loves. In order to produce the higher part of man's structure, the sperm, life germ, must pass up the spinal column to the medulla oblongata, conductor of impulses between the spinal cord and the brain, to the 12 cranial nerves, the 12 occult nerves, where it is then charged with the light that comes from the crown seat to the brow seat, third eye, to the 12 cranial nerves. After the sperm is charged with light, it again goes down the spinal column to the tubes, located between the prostate glands, to the urethra, which goes through the penis, and gushes forth as mentioned in Quran 86:6-7. If this gushing forth is conceived, a total person is produced. Without receiving the electrical impulses obtained from the light, a person would be short of his mentality. Man has 7 seats. The heart seat is between the seats. It is the division of the lower part of man and the higher part of man. The heart seat emits a light that is pinkish in color because it is in tune with the white light of the 12 cranial nerves, the 12 occult nerves, and it meets with the red light of the lower part of man, cardinal part. They blend to produce the 12 beams of light, which are the 12 forms of love. The 12 forms of love are: 1. Love of oneself, the most deadly; 2. Love of wealth; 3. Love of fame; 4. Love of success; 5. Love of mate, husband or wife; 6. Love of child; 7. Love of parents; 8. Love of brothers and sisters; 9. Love of one's word, tongue; 10. Love of life; 11. Love of prophets; 12. Love of the Most High. This is the totality of all creation, mathematics, and the personification of the physical body and its ability to function on earth. The heart seat deals with the thymus gland that involves the sexual growth and maturity once you reach the age of puberty. It dissolves in the heart seat. It dissolves because you are now exercising both of these glands, the higher, which executes the decision of love, and the lower, which is the application necessary for reproduction, the procreation of life. It is at this point that the thymus gland disappears and the person becomes either male or female, and the 12 lights are seen at this point. The decision of hate, which is the counterpart or love, is there at this point. Now in the case of women, the centrifugal force affects the body by the sexual organ. It is a pulling force and is shown by the effects of her body with the stages of the moon. As a rule, every 29½ days during the life of woman, she is to menstruate or have a flow of blood from the womb. The moon completes its cycle every 29½ days by circling the earth, which is on a 23-degree axis. Woman's menstrual cycle follows that of the moon, if she is in tune with nature, the physical. Women are supposed to menstruate on one of the phases of the moon, namely, new moon, first quarter, full moon, or last quarter. The moon changes according to seasons, so does menstruation. Women's cycle changes 4 times a year: winter, fall, summer, and spring. The moon is a non-luminous revolving body that receives its light from the sun. In summer the sun shines strongly, which causes the menses to flow heavier. Likewise, in the winter time the menstrual flow may be less because of the sun shining weaker. This whole menstrual process is interrupted upon conceiving, which results in 9 months of pregnancy. The centripetal and centrifugal force is one of the concepts of yang and yin. In some there is an abundance of negative charges, while in others there is an abundance of positive charges. Though the difference in some instances is slight, there is always an abundance of one or the other. The third eye forms a smaller magnetic field contained within the greater magnetic field of the individual. It is either positive or negative in polarization. It must be one or the other in order to fulfill the function needed of it at any given moment. In most people, it is quite positive and forcefully active. Being positive, it radiates and projects its vibrating energies outward. This makes it a sending rather than receiving mechanism. It sends to the oversoul, etheric body, through the third eye, the results of all experiences, thoughts and emotions experienced by the normal level of consciousness. However, such positive polarity usually prevents it from impressing thoughts or ideas of an intuitive nature upon the normal level of consciousness. In other words, it prevents the body, physical, from receiving messages. The positively polarized third eye pushes messages away, going against the oversoul, etheric body, to the normal level of consciousness. The physical body are hindered, interrupted, and disconnected. Therefore, you have to polarize the third eye. To polarize the third eye for receiving messages: 1. Become relaxed completely, pushing away from your mind all concern with immediate surroundings and problems. 2. Direct attention inward and upward toward the third eye as though a sphere of light surrounds your entire head. The light is green. 3. Without mental strain, center your consciousness upon the idea that you are creating, until the flow of thoughts open the mind-level messages. 4. At the same time attempt to sense or feel the state of receiving that you are creating, until the flow of thoughts open the mind level to receive messages. Do not do this for long periods of time, for it would be of no avail, and never go to the extreme and keep the third eye in a negative polarity, receiving messages. Exercises in opening of the third eye are: 1. To become more receptive to the intuitive impulses coming from the oversoul, etheric body, attempt to create a sending and receiving field in the third eye area. Draw the current toward you. This is meditation. The message of the oversoul will travel easily and quickly since everything would be flowing in the same direction. Reversing the polarity from positive to negative is accomplished without conscious effort. The flow is so subtle in nature that it responds almost immediately to any direction of the will. This explains why the flow is predominantly outward or positive, because the positive thought is usually the type expressed. 2. Chant "O he who is, O he who is, O he whom no one knows what himself is, save himself." Relax chanting slowly, direct attention to the third eye area. The combination of the vibratory stimulations created by the voice or chanting with that of your thought serves to activate the third eye. 3. For this exercise your emotions must be pure and under control. Concentrate on the pineal seat and the pituitary seat. Bring the seat of light up. Caution: it is wrong to focus attention upon the root seat at the base of the spine and mentally force the seat light up. This can cause the light to descend. 4. Visualize a sphere of light some 2 or 3 feet before you. Then, mentally, with your will, bring the light towards you. This mental activity creates the sense of inflow and receiving. Draw the light closer and closer until finally your entire head is encircled with light. This type of mental exercise causes expansion of the mind and opening of the third eye. This type of development is not accomplished in one sitting or overnight, it is gradual. How do you know when your third eye is opening? You start realizing and accepting the things for what they are, as being from the Most High. He sent Melchizedek. It was his marvelous healing works that caused his exaltation in ancient times. He was and is master of a healing science that is little understood today. The green light of Al-Qidr, Melchizedek, releases a healing force by the power of the mind, focused with full intensity in the inner body and on the acceleration and direction of the inner forces of the body. Melchizedek was appointed by Anu, who is also known as Allah, as a medium and a guardian over all the earth, and as a source of healing for humans. The presence stimulated by a visual thought force with tremendous life energy within and surrounding the physical body. The body is made of 7 degrees of substance. These 7 substances vary in density and vibration. You only know of 3 of these substances: solids, liquids, and gases. However, there is a shadowy form that is called the etheric body that is an exact duplicate of the physical body, but made of 4 higher substances: first ether, electric ether, second ether, life ether, third ether, light ether, and fourth ether, mental reflection. The 4 ethers of physical region are 7, fourth ether, mental reflection; 6, third ether, light ether; 5, second ether, life ether; 4, first ether, electric ether, onto the dense physical or chemical region; 3, gases; 2, liquids; and 1, solids. The etheric body, or the part of you that is composed of ethers, is called the body of life or body of vitality, without which the denser part of you would not be able to live. When I say body, I do not mean another body apart from yourself, or another form expressing an individual intellect or personality. I merely mean another shadowy stage of yourself, as stated previously. The etheric body and the etheric senses are attached to your physical body by a very thin etheric cord. Through this etheric cord, you receive what your spiritual senses detect. The etheric body is the body of life force, of vitality and of energy. Without it, the physical body is in darkness, without life and light. The etheric body is the part of a human that keeps in contact with the spiritual realm. The etheric body can exist without the physical body, but the physical body cannot exist without the etheric body. The etheric body is the body that digests the activities of the 7 seats or 7 spiritual senses. The etheric body draws in the energies through seats, which sends the energies through the glands of the physical body. When your body becomes ill, the physical body and the etheric body have somewhat become disconnected. The physical body is cut off from its source of life force. When your inner light becomes dim, your body starts filling with darkness. The body starves and the cells starve for life. Humans were gifted with the ability to heal under proper guidance, which was studied under the elders. The same healing abilities the prophets had, and the same healing abilities Jesus had and taught to his disciples, not only the 12 disciples, but others also, are the same abilities that humans have. All humans had to do was follow the right path. The healing ability was instilled in all humans from our conscious to our subconscious, physical to spiritual, cranial and spinal nerves to the seat of light, chakras. The secret was to understand how to direct the green light of Al-Qidr, Melchizedek, to release tensions within and to stimulate its vibration to bring all the cells of the physical form into harmony, one with the others. Without the green light it is also the same. Without the Most High nothing would be. The green light acts like a magnet. Stimulated within the body, it attracts from the magnetic force field surrounding the body, the ether particles of green light, which are waiting to be drawn into the body by the seats. Every molecule in the body, and every atom that makes the cells of the body, is built around a magnetic center of positive and negative, held together by the light, green light, that connects all to the bosom of Anu. The small light of the cell, or atom, is what holds it together, and keeps it from wandering off on its own. Things we must realize are, 1. This earth is just a resting place and the heavens a firm foundation. 2. All things of the material, physical, world are just fair-seeming illusions. 3. We have power dormant in us. 4. Until we free ourselves from the petty things in our personal life, we will remain bound to this physical realm. 5. We do not easily comprehend the spiritual worlds or the life of those worlds because they exist in different dimensions from those that we have perception. Therefore, the logic that we may apply here in this material, physical, world, doesn't necessarily mean that it can be made applicable in the higher realms. When humans' desires had outgrown his purity and the elders looked down into the earth and Anu saw fit to send down the elders from the circle to bring humans back to his position as ruler on earth, what would have happened if it were possible for people to destroy themselves? All the planets would be drawn back up into the sun, which would be the results of star holocaust because of the magnetic force that keeps this universe in fit form. Where did the elders come from? The elders came from a period of 76 trillion years ago, which is our cream in history, in which time we were living air pockets in the form of gases. In the process of creating the universe in which we reside, we created 10 air pockets in space and beyond called spheres, which gave each planet a radius to properly rotate around the sun. We created the positive masculine and negative feminine polarity presently known as centrifugal and centripetal forces that locked each sphere into a set law known today as the solar system, in which energy nor matter cannot be destroyed. There are 7 steps to healing. 1. Food. 2. Water. 3. Drawing in and directing the green light, healing force, which harmonizes the chakras. 4. Training the subconscious mind level by visualizing perfection. 5. Transforming the physical body through prayer and chanting. 6. Trust in one's teacher and self. 7. Faith in the Most High. It is no secret that food is necessary for good health. Food helps to build resistance against diseases of different sorts. We can go without eating for several days, from 10 to 50. Food is used for energy and used to prevent deficiency diseases. It is necessary for the body to be provided with water, since a major part of the body is made of fluid. Water is a solvent, having the power to dissolve. It is important for dissolving foods and waste in the body. 2/3 of the body's weight is made up of water. Water helps regulate the body temperature with perspiration when the body becomes too warm, and it helps release waste through the skin. All of the body cells are made up of a large amount of water, and the body must be bathed in water in order for the cells to carry on their activities. 70 to 95% of water makes up the protoplasm, a translucent, colorless, semi-fluid, complex substance that is the physical basis of life, the living matter of all cells and tissues. The elements absorbed into the body from food and liquids create a negative polarity force. The food and water are made up of solids, liquids, and gases of the material plane. The food and water are absorbed into the bloodstream and pumped through the system by the heart. The food and water, liquid, replaces and revitalizes damaged cells and tissues, while the body sleeps. It works through the subconscious mind level by the sympathetic nervous system. It supplies the blood cells within the bone marrow. It helps keep in order the pulse beat of the heart and helps to keep on the process of breathing. By the negative polarity forces that are breathed in, the breath of life, through the lungs, there is equalizing of the flow of the positive negative streams of life force throughout the body. This has a calming effect upon the nervous system. The nerve fluid becomes tranquil, steady, etheric currents of balanced power. This is a result that occurs through the indrawing and directing of the green light, which harmonizes the seats. Drawing in and directing the green light, healing force, which harmonizes the chakras. The etheric body, oversoul, is made of 4 higher substances. First ether, electric ether, second ether, life ether, third ether, light ether, fourth ether, mental reflection. I have also stated that illnesses are the results of the etheric body being disconnected from the physical body. An illness may be due to a lack of an ether substance. The elders referred to the healing ether as nafs, also known as prana. The elders describes nafs as follows: the entire universe, from spirit to human, is the product of one substance. It is the primary and basic substance out of which the earth and the heavens are made. All are composed of the same substance with this difference. In one field of expression, its manifestations are subtle and invisible. In the other they are gross and visible. Subtle and invisible soul, gross and visible body. Without the activity of nafs upon Ru, the physical body remains in a state of darkness. Humans are constantly projecting his life forces outward. Once he is able to open his third eye and bring the green light, healing force, into the body, this positive negative life force will flow throughout the body, recharging every cell. To removing illness from the body, visualize a channel of green light, from Anu to Melchizedek, flowing downward through the crown seat and into the physical body. Concentrate on the green light overcoming and sending downward any undesirable elements in the physical body. Imagine the disease within the body being swept into the flow of light, and carried out of the body through the feet. The feet are not touching, so that the particles may flow out and away from the body. It is not good to sit in a lotus position because your feet touch your body, making the particles flow back into the body. The green light sweeps the diseased particles out of the body. Next, lock the flow of green light by crossing the feet so that the green light remains within your own force field. The diseased particles should have been flushed from the body by this time. After you have crossed your feet, locking in the green light, breathe the name of Allah, evenly and slowly. Again, visualize the green light, healing force, pouring into the body through the crown seat. As the green light flows in, visualize a halo of green light consecutively surrounding each seat, beginning with the crown seat, at the top of the head. The green light then goes to the next seat, surrounds that set with a halo and continues on downward. You should end picturing the channel of green light with each seat surrounded with a halo from head to toe. Believe firmly in the fact that the green light that you are drawing into your body is flowing from the Most High El Elyon El to Melchizedek, filling the aura and entering each and every cell of your body to restore it to sound health. After you have completed your breathing process, quietly sit visualizing the crown seat vibrantly throwing our sparks of light, like a sparkler. The sparkler shoots upward and out. This continues until the aura of the whole physical body is sparkling, brighter and brighter. By now, you should feel peace and harmony within each cell of the body, for they should and would have been renewed. Sit quietly visualizing each seat having an aura. The aura of the whole physical body is sparkling. This is what you make happen in the inner you. Energy follows thought, an active law in the science of healing. Sit quietly in Jalsa, the sitting position, palms up, fingers are not touching, nor are the feet touching. Lock the green light, healing force, within the body by crossing the feet, turning palms down, and closing fingers. Every time that you touch something or someone, an etheric thread or cord is established between your hand and the person touched. If the connection is a casual one, and the mind is not connecting on the contact with that person, the etheric thread disappears. But, if the mind concentrates on the contact, etheric power flows along the thread. Every time a thought is directed along the etheric thread, the energy that follows the thought increases the power of the contact between two people. The etheric thread becomes an etheric telepathic wire of energy. This is important in the science of healing. Breathing, which seems so commonplace, is controlled by a cycle of electromagnetic impulses that pass down from the medulla oblongata to the solar plexus region, or area of the navel chakra. What happens is that the light is received from the crown seat to the third eye. From the third eye the light travels to the medulla oblongata and rises from the sides of the medulla oblongata to spread into the cranial nerves. Within the 12 cranial nerves is found the vagus nerve, which consists of motor fibers that send nervous energy to the pharynx, the tube or cavity with its surrounding membrane and muscle that connects the mouth and nasal passages with the esophagus. Larynx, voice box, muscular and cartilaginous structure lined with mucous membrane at the upper part of the trachea, the tube extending from the larynx to the bronchi, serving as the principal passage for conveying air to and from the lungs, windpipe. Heart, blood pump. Thoracic viscera, the chest cavity organs, lungs, etc. Abdominal viscera, the abdominal cavity organs, the intestines, etc. At certain times, it is not unusual to find that your regular breathing is temporarily suspended as a different type of breathing takes over. Do not be alarmed. This happens automatically at times, without the slightest effort from the individual. It is a spiritual breathing that many people have practiced. It is a natural and regular breathing process in which you feel no lack of oxygen or any necessity to suddenly take a deep breath. This type of breathing has been spoken of many times and used many times. All of this is accomplished through the vagus nerve system. The vagus nerve system connects the heart and the head. It is through the channel of this nerve that the soul withdraws at the time of death. The vagus nerve system is a fragment of the etheric cord that is attached to the physical body and links it to the etheric body, oversoul, and the mental. Train the subconscious mind level by visualizing perfection. As human continues on in the last days, the Aquarian age, with all that is there to tempt him, the disciple must be disciplined through his faith and through his works and sacrifices. This is acquired through patience, a virtue, a moral excellence, a beauty of holiness, a spirituality. A polytheist lacks the understanding that 99% of his body is obedient to his creator. It is the 1% that makes him rebel to the divine law of his creator. That 1% that makes him rebel is comparable to a penny of a dollar. It is just as important as the 99 cents if a dollar is what is needed. Does mankind think that he will ever overstand the spiritual if he does not overstand the physical? If through time mankind has dropped in degrees coming from up to down, then in order for mankind to gain his degrees, he must work his way from down to up, physical to spiritual. Indeed, he needs the intellect, the pen and the light, those things that were in the beginning. If Earth is a school of life, and the goal of mankind is to become perfect, there must be someone who had graduated with the equivalent of a master's degree. Then the purpose of that someone with the master's degree would be to help guide the people and give them intellect, the ability to decide wisely and overstanding. This someone is called a sheikh. This is not the so-called sheikh that you know today as a venerable old man over the age of 50, worthy of deep respect. This sheikh is of a group of the higher part of the heavenly realm, serving many spiritual purposes. The group is individually called the ancient, the sheikhs, the masters, the Nephilians or the elders. The group as a whole is called the secret seat of counsel. Over them preside Melchizedek. In reference to the science of healing, all of them engaged in the healing art. Melchizedek radiates the green light. To the elders, healing the body was divine activity that had a considerable degree of attention. Someone who lived by the spiritual practices and discipline was able to obtain this ability. The elders believed that the sick body could be filled with divine power, the light, so as to cast out illness and disease. In short, it was making a holy place uninhabitable by unworthy things by creating an atmosphere in which they could not remain. The elders believed that the sick body could be cured by the plant. For every illness of human, there exists an herb, a root, a leaf or a bark, to heal that illness. Ezekiel 47:12, and by the river upon the bank thereof, on this side and on that side, will ascend all trees for food whose leaf will not fade, neither will the fruit thereof be consumed. It will bring forth new fruit according to his months, because their waters they brought forth out of the holy place, and the fruit thereof will be for food and the leaf thereof for healing. Right translation: Lane Aramaic, Hebrew, by Dr. Malachi Z. York. So let us remember that there is an angelic mission, as well as a mission here on the earth. I call it the spiritual mission. Their light overshadows those of us who serve in the mission on earth. How did I find this out? I found out through this experience I now share with you. I planned a deliberate retreat from the world to prepare myself to face the responsibility of elevating, which was not yet born to me on the earth's plane. I meditated, studied, planned and prayed, attempting to receive intuitional guidance from Melchizedek. It was my prayers that would make me worthy of the elders presenting themselves to me. Finally, one night, I became aware of a majestic being. My inspirational impression indicated that he was concerned with healing work. In my meditation, I was impressed with his name, Melchizedek. This meant a great deal to me. I immediately identified him as the guardian of the earth. I was then impressed with the meaning of his name, Angel of Justice. I made an effort to draw closer to him, so I might experience his healing powers by invoking his name. To my surprise, I found this healing power did not come directly from the Green One to me, but through Zoser, who is of standing amongst the elders. I became aware that Zoser was high priest after the order of Melchizedek. Melchizedek generates a green light over the 24 elders. The 24 elders hold position in the secret seat of counsel. I then applied that which was above me, the secret seat of counsel, to that which was below.